The final premier seeding race ahead of the Cape Town Cycle Tour, the Tour De Ppa, took place recently with the 75 and 105 kilometre races both starting and finishing at the Durbanville Racecourse.
We're excited for today to test the shape again. We've got a full team here, which is nice, so yeah, let's see if we can control the race and put the plan in place that we want to.
Yeah, form's not too bad. Also had national champs 2 weeks ago. So yeah, first longer road race again. Quite a well-known route between all the guys here. So yeah, and it looks a little bit breezy, so we're going to see what the wind does.
It was a fun ride, always a good hard race, nice and flat, and we'll see what the windy finish does.
While wind was likely to be a factor a little later, conditions were conducive to a super fast start as the lead group pedalled out of Durbanville. The 105 kilometre route took them out onto the Wellington Road towards Paarl Rock. The undulating course carried just over 1,000 metres of climbing, a good test ahead of the cycle tour. The active Western Cape road racing scene was well represented, with all the top local teams taking on the challenge. The elite women's race was similarly loaded with quality races, including Catherine Colyn.
Yeah, so we started off with the B group with the men, which is always an exciting race, and we also merged very quickly with the tandems, which adds a little spice to the mix, of course. But no, the racing was good. It was a nice crosswind, so we were racing in a circular route, so every time there's just wind all the time, so we really had to know where to sit. Tried to get away here and there a few times, but then when the men see a girl go across the road, they're not going to let that happen. So then they just end up just closing it the whole time, so I knew I have to wait for the finish. It gives me a nice idea where the level is at the moment, how I'm feeling, how the bike's going. So it's going to be, I think, a completely different race, which is quite exciting.
In the shadow of the mighty Paarl Rock Mountain, the elite men reached the left turn onto the R44, with 4 riders holding a small advantage over the mass of the peloton, 2 each from Realty Dynamics and 1 each from Kinetic Pro and ASAP. Aside from the big teams, there were many solo racers testing their legs ahead of the cycle tour and other challenges, and it was fantastic to have former World Tour pro Stefan de Bod racing. Having spent the last 2 years with the EF Education Easy Post team, de Bod is now with the Terengganu racing team, a Malaysian Continental Tour level team.
Yeah, it was really nice. I enjoy coming to the local races and supporting the events and stuff. It's been a long time for me since I've done this kind of thing. So yeah, it was really nice to come out with my local friends, and yeah, I really enjoyed the race. I'm off to Europe, and then I go to Tour of Taiwan, then Tour of Thailand, and then maybe China, and then the big goal is Tour of Turkey. So yeah, this is actually preparation for that. So it's perfect weather in South Africa, summer now. So yeah, I really enjoy training and racing here. Yeah, like I said, I have a couple of local friends here that I grew up with racing, and yeah, I really enjoyed being part of the event today.
And the 28-year-old 4-time Grand Tour rider showed he is in good shape as he mixed it at the front of the big peloton with all the teams, all of whom recognised the threat posed by a ride of his calibre. Durbanville-based Realty Dynamics worked well in the front to apply pressure on the group. De Toy van den Berg, Rhys McDonald and Tiens van der Bank going through.
Like a lot of people today, the PPA race is the last seeding race for the Cape Town Cycle Tour. So coming along and trying my luck, trying to see if I can get a good time and hopefully bump my seeding up for the Cape Town Cycle Tour. Yeah, so this route's pretty much the same kind of distance, but very different in the way the profile is. This race, the hills are interspersed throughout the event, whereas Cape Town Cycle Tour, obviously there's those 2 big climbs towards the end. So this event I actually find a little bit tougher because the pace is quite hard the entire way through. There's lots of the rolling climbs that you've got to keep getting over. Whereas Cycle Tour, if you plan it correctly, you can sit in the bunch for a long time and then just get to work on the last 2 climbs. This one you've got to stay aware the entire way through, and yeah, just watch out for every time the hammer goes down.
Sage advice indeed on how to pace yourself from an old hand. The pace in the big bunches behind the elites was a little less hectic. Those who were happy with their seeding for the cycle tour were content to use the Tour De Ppa as a solid tune-up ahead of the lap of the peninsula. PPA chairman Steve Hayward was among them.
I think this is one of the most fantastic events. It's the last event before the big one, which is the Cape Town Cycle Tour in a couple of weeks' time. And I think the guys come here to try and improve their seeding, but I think most of all they come here to enjoy this wonderful ride that the PPA puts on for them. So it's a wonderful event that people really come out and test them, because it's quite hilly, it's a rolling hills, so it's quite a tough ride. It's obviously a ride that is there for the 105 and then obviously the 79, so a lot of folks just come out to try and test themselves. They might not be riding the cycle tour, but this is what PPA is all about, is putting on events for everybody. And one could see today that there were people from all levels of cycling just out today enjoying this wonderful weather and enjoying life.
And there are few better ways of doing that than on a bike cruising through the beautiful Western Cape farmlands. After turning off the R44, they headed in a southwesterly direction back towards Cape Town on the Tour De Ppa road. The PPA ensured that the riders were well looked after along the way, with 6 water points along the 105-kilometre route.
It's been a good day. It's a beautiful day out. Not too much wind. Excellent route as always. And yeah, just like it to be out here having a good cycle. Yeah, look, for me it's just it's a nice day out. Taking advantage of the roads that are closed and the scenery and the water points and whatnot. So just having a lucky time. I think this race kit was for everybody, from the top guys, the elites, to the guys like myself, just kind of like wanting to come out and have a good cycle.
It's about a month before the cycle tour next month, so it's a really nice training ride for me to do. So I'm not very good about keeping up with training in between. So it's really good. It's really nice weather today, and it's a nice route. It's got nice meandering hills, and yeah, really enjoying it. Yes, the water points are really nicely spaced, and the people along the side's been really, really helpful and nice.
It was also helpful to get into a bunch on the road towards Philadelphia. The big silos are a familiar landmark, and it was here that the 75-kilometre riders linked up with the longer route races.
Did the Tour De Ppa quite a number of years ago. I haven't done it in some time, but I'm with Active Body Sports Development, and I'm also a member of the Pedal Power Association's Exco. And yeah, so today it was partly representing Pedal Power, the brand, everything that they do for cycling, for the schools, for the communities. And also, we've got a group of about 20 youngsters that came out to do the Tour De Ppa, and it was a fun day out. So some of us did the 79, like myself, and then the others did the 105. I just think it's well organized. There was lots of marshals, lots of motorbikes on the road, keeping everybody safe, traffic officers on the road, and I think just the Pedal Power events are just well organized, And I mean, we've done quite a number of races, taking the kids all over South Africa. And there are times where there are races that's not as well organized. So if you measure it against how the PPA events get put together, you can see there's a completeness about how they actually put it together.
Stefan de Bod beat Sasha Weber and Yahyaa in the 105-kilometre men's race. Catherine Colyn took the honours in the women's race ahead of Ethiopia's Mivaf Argari and Bianca Burton. The vibe was relaxed and chilled at the finish as riders recovered in the shade of the blue gums. Now for the Cape Town Cycle Tour.